Good day, everyone at HighQuest and Women in Agribusiness. It's our opportunity to share with you a program that the Balchem Corporation has put together to help their sales organization be successful working virtual. So we don't have to have our masks on, our sunglasses because we're out in the public, and our hats on. So my name is Monty Miller. I have a business called International Performance Solutions. And we will bring up some slides here on basically working virtual. So in my first conversation with the person in charge of the ruminant business in the across the globe, he basically said the overall objectives are how to basically help the organization understand tools and techniques for successfully working virtual. In this time of physical distancing, it's absolutely critical that we maintain our presence with producers. So those will be livestock producers, people who are consulting in the livestock industry, as well as nutritionists and the feed mills. Building virtual capacity is also something that is probably a wise investment to be able to utilize this knowledge and skills going forward in the future, because it will aid the organization's efficiency. But at the same time, we got to be helpful with people, and we got to be empathetic with people, because we're in uncharted waters. So helping everybody move up this curve, this learning curve of working virtual is very, very critical. But the key is, how do we stay on the customer and the nutritionists and the consultants' radar during these unprecedented times? So with that, we sort of reframed our presentation this morning. Balchem working successful without masks. And at this point in time, I'm going to let each of the people who participated in this, we'll take off our masks here, and we'll let each individual introduce themselves.
Oh, my mask is stuck on my earring. Hi, guys. I'm Jamie Johnson. I work for Balchem Animal Nutrition, and I actually am in the territory of Iowa, Nebraska, South Dakota, Southwest Minnesota, and Missouri.
Hi, I'm Jan Osborne, and I live in Western New York, and I cover the states of Pennsylvania and New York.
And you have a friend too.
What's that, Monty?
I said she has a friend with her too. She can just introduce.
Oh, yes, my friend here. This is my friend, Golden Retriever Bobby here. and he's kind of here as to how to teach us this morning that we want to be professional, but yet we still are working out of our home.
And hello, I'm Jan Rentschler. I work for Balchem, and I cover the southwestern part of the U.S., and I live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
And my name is Monty Miller, and it's a pleasure to contribute to the library that HighQuest is creating in this time of COVID-19 and how agriculture is responding. So back to our slide deck. Here were the needs in our first meeting with Jamie, Jan, and John. And would one of you like to share? This is sort of what came out of the first conversation.
So basically enhancing common functionality and skills to using Salesforce. And Salesforce is our customer management platform. A little bit of knowledge on how to access to Microsoft Teams and some other virtual tools. You've probably heard of Zoom meetings or GoToWebinars. And then as you'll hear a little bit later, there was something that we went over, just kind of tips and techniques to our colleagues to enhance virtual learning.
Thank you, Jamie. On to John.
So when we first met, we met as a group and figured out, well, what is the situation that we're currently in so we can build some success working virtually. And we realized that, this is a big change for us, right? So before we were all going out to see folks face to face, and now the mode of operation is significantly different. But so how can we still be present with our producers and customers and consultants and on their radar? And we really recognized that a big thing that we needed to learn was our confidence in virtual discussions. Like Jamie just mentioned, right? For ours, is our platform is Microsoft Teams, but we need to make sure we had a lot of confidence in that. Just have some fun and really master, or work on the engagement so we could master it before we get back to face visiting with our customers.
And thank you, John. And moving on to Jan, in terms of the agenda that we covered under tips and techniques.
So the agenda that we went over was do pre-call planning. I think all of us do that on a regular basis, but probably now more than ever. John went over set up virtual contact, send out an invitation a couple, 3 days ahead of time, make sure it's going to work for everybody. I covered engage the client, ask, is this a good time? Monty covered the pivot point. And Jamie went over pursue your purpose. Make sure you have a very clear and definite purpose in mind. John went over pursue the needs. What are the needs of the customer? Be on their agenda. Actively listening and action. Make sure that you're finding out what the needs are, making sure that you understand what your role in getting back to the customer and what you're going to do, what the action items are. John covered confirmation, and also I covered office windshield time. All of us who are making calls out in the field have time in between calls to kind of download, think about our next steps, and that. And we need to make sure that we do that with calls in the office as well. It's just as important.
So in the process of basically going through this agenda, we had a number of slides that backed up each one of those 9 points, and we went into more details in terms of actual skills and methodologies for basically working those 9 points. It's been 3 weeks now since we did the first session with the Balchem people, and our synopsis of the learnings are basically on this final slide.
So obviously everybody is on a different level, both comfort and confidence in working virtually. So breaking that down into small groups, 2 to 5 people to do some training seemed to be most productive, at least in our organization. And then people want to be engaged both internally and externally, and they want to continue to learn. So this gave us an opportunity to do some educational series, both internal and external.
So we also learned that customers are at, they're at different stages of comfort level and how they want to communicate. So some of them want to do the virtual Teams type of approach, and some of them just want a text or a phone call. But we just recognize that everybody's at a different stage and that we're all on different learning curves as well to perfect our skills. But the key is just to stick with it.
And how to recognize our office to work virtually. Some of us realized that the lighting wasn't good or that we needed to maybe tidy up. And that was a real learning for me. I know having sales and influencing successes, we can certainly do that virtually and via the phone. And separate ourselves from our home activities. That's the puppy here. We all want to be professional, but we all have a different environment, and that's just part of the way it is, and to be able to accept it.
And can we see the puppy again out of
for sure.
of 7, I think you said?
7, yes.
Very good. So we basically want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to share our experience in terms of how to help a sales organization that historically is very, very much face-to-face with customers. And I think that's fairly common across all of agriculture, is our comfort in working face-to-face with customers. But in these times of COVID-19, basically being able to get the work done, maintain our presence, make sure we're addressing customers' needs and supporting them is utmost of importance. So I thank Jamie, Jan, and John for your contributions in supporting your organization, enhancing my learning, and we thank all of you for contributing to the HighQuest Library. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye, thanks.